And so the next thing that we're going to talk about is specific identification. Specific identification. And this is the very last inventory costing method, and it's rather easy. What this method does is it specifically identifies, just as it does in the title, what goods you have left at the cost and what goods that you sold at the cost. So in a quick scenario, you would use specific identification for goods that don't look the same. Very exclusive goods. I like to give examples with the class of those car dealerships that only have 5 cars. 5 cars. Very expensive cars, right? And they could easily tell you, okay, if I sold 2 of those very expensive cars, I could tell you how much they cost me. And I could tell you how much the remaining 3 cost me as well. And so for specific identification, from a practical standpoint, I would have to specify a component that you can calculate. I will either specify the cost of your ending inventory, or I will specify the cost of goods sold. So let's look at the example. We're doing specific identification, perpetual, and I would have to give you some information such as, suppose that we have two units at $2, 3 units at $3, and 2 units at $4 remaining. Suppose that we have 2 units at $2, 3 units at $3, and 2 units at $4 remaining. And as always, you always keep a close eye on the keywords. Obviously, there's only really one keyword out of here, and it's remaining. This word is going to dictate what type of information I've given you. As I said before, I could either give you ending inventory information at the cost, or I could give you cost of goods sold information at the cost. It doesn't matter. I could choose whatever one. So how will we know which one was given in this one? It's based on this keyword. The keyword is remaining. So if I'm giving you cost and I'm telling you it was remaining, what is that? Is that ending inventory or is that cost of goods sold? Hopefully at this level you know that that's ending inventory. Now, if I wanted to supply you with cost of goods sold information, what keyword will we look for? Obviously the word sold, right? Another key factor that you could point into to notice that we're dealing with what's left, if you add up the units, 2 units plus 3 plus 2, that gives you what? 7. What is the significance of 7 in this problem? The significance of 7 in this problem is that we always have 7 units left. And so from this example, I'm going to go straight into calculating ending inventory. Even though I told you guys to always start off with cost of goods sold, because they gave us ending inventory, we're going to calculate. So we always have 7 units left in ending inventory. And where are they coming from? They're coming from the information that was given. So we know that 2 is left, that cost us $2. So we're looking for 5 more. And we know that 3 out of those 5 cost us $3. We're looking for 2 more. And obviously the last 2 are sitting right there, and they cost us $4. So if you pay close attention, this is real easy. I like to say easy breezy, right? And so we've already calculated the cost of ending inventory. Obviously it's 4, 3, 9, and 8, right? And so what is that? 13, 21. I have 21. 12, yep, 21. So the cost of our ending inventory under specific identification happens to be the cost of $21. And so now that we found our ending inventory, we're going to have to use some logic to back into our cost of goods sold. We know based on this description right here, this is what we didn't sell. But we also know that this information provided here, based on purchases and stuff, I'm going to back this up. Based on purchases, could tell us what we started out before we had the remaining amount. Pay attention and it'll make sense. So, now we're going to calculate our cost of goods sold. Okay? So, we're going to just start down the row, straight in order. Okay? So, beginning inventory. How many units did we originally have that cost us $2? 10, right? But based on this given information, how many units do we have left that cost us $2? 2. So if we started out with 10, but we have 2 left, that means that we sold how many? 8. So we know we sold 13 units total. And we know that, where did I get the 13? Total, just the number. So we know that 8 of those were sold at $2, a cost of $2. So now we're looking for 5. And we go to our next purchase. We purchased 4 units at $3, correct? How many units at $3 do we have left? We have 3 units at $3. So how many units did we actually sell? We actually sold 1 unit at $3. And so again, we need to find 4 more units. Then we go to our next purchase. I am identifying the purchases, not the sales, the purchase. Next purchase, we started out with 5 units at $4. However, we only have 2 left at $4. So obviously, we sold 3 that cost us $4. Last but not least, we have 1 unit left. And of course, that 1 unit left is sitting right here with that purchase at $5. And how do we know that? Because we didn't have any remaining at $5. So we had to sell. And so logically, this could give us our correct answer. So we have 16, 3, 12, 5. And I'm going to pull out my calculator. I have 36. And I always double check just to make sure that everything is correct. I've seen students screw stuff up just by simple calculation. So our cost of goods sold happens to be $36 as well. So specific identification is extremely easy. And it kind of gives you an idea where you're going with stuff. Okay?